Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing kind of a different video. This is the first time I've ever done a video like this on my main channel, but I am kind of just wanting to focus on this channel, and that's why I've been adding more book related videos in this channel. Moral of the story, today we are doing a reading vlog for a week. I just want to kind of see how many books I can realistically read in a week and how many pages I can read every day. That sort of idea. So yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm gonna title this yet, but something along those lines. I honestly just had the urge to film this like a few minutes ago. So that's why we are starting this on a Tuesday instead of a Monday. But yesterday was technically a holiday, so it doesn't even count, does it? Currently I'm reading Divine Rivals. I took the dust jacket off, so I do apologize. But this is my Owl Crate version, and it's like stunning. But yeah, I currently just started reading Divine Rivals. I'm about 150 pages in. This morning when I started, I was on page 130, and I just read a little bit while I drank my matcha, but I haven't read like a ton today, so don't worry. So this book takes place in the late 1800s, and it is a fantasy world, so it's not like nothing's real, but there's an ongoing war between two of the gods. And so the main character, Iris, her brother goes off to fight for one of the gods. And so Iris is kind of left with her and her mom. And, you know, they start to have some financial troubles and just they're emotionally distressed because they haven't heard from their brother or son in a long time. Like literally since he left. And so she has to like quit school. She goes and starts working as a journalist. And as a journalist, she has like a rival competitor sort of vibe who is also trying to get the same promotion as her. And so those two like kind of hate each other. But back when she's at home, she'll like write to her brother and like put her letters into this wardrobe. It just has like a therapeutic way to kind of talk to him, but she actually can't send the letters because she doesn't know where he is. And as it turns out, her typewriter is actually magical, and it is like connected to the rival journalist's typewriter. Of course, because like why would it not be? And so then they start communicating. He finds out who she is, but she doesn't know who he is, sort of idea. And none of that spoilers, that all takes place in the first like 20-30 pages. But it is really good. I love the setting of this book so far. I love the premise and idea and how it feels very like historical vibes. And I also love the love interest. The male main character is chef's kiss. You can tell he's just like a simp, if I'm being honest, and I love it so much. Also, I will say the female main character is very like brave and kind of a badass, which I also adore. I love strong female leads, and I don't know, I'm just really obsessed with this book right now. So I do want to make some good progress in this. I would love to finish it this week. I think that's doable. This week I would really love to make a good dent on my TBR for September, because I did like a TBR prompt jar picks my reads, and I really would love to make some progress on that, but we shall see. But yeah, I will talk to you guys later. I'll probably read a little bit more later today, and I will talk to you guys then. Guys, the way I kind of wish this was a spoiler vlog, because I am now on page 233 and this chapter just ended in such mayhem. This is such a good book. I had to take a little break from reading right when it was getting good. Of course. So now I'm just getting back into it. I am a little nervous because, like I said, things are just not really going smoothly for our main characters. I'm going to keep reading. I have Gilmore Girls playing in the background, so I'm just vibing, if I'm being honest. I'm just so happy. I've been having such good luck lately with the books I'm reading. I've loved the last like three or four books, which like I don't know the last time that's happened. I'm making some really good progress in this book, and it still blows my mind how good it is. The writing and the pacing of this book is so well done. She has so many good like quotes, and I've just never had a point in the book where I'm like, oh, like the story is kind of lulled or like a little boring. Where I do find a lot of fantasy books, the pacing of them I find is hard to get right, because it's just, you have to include world building and all these like facts and like all these other side stories along with the main story. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Moral story, she just has the pacing perfectly. It was exactly what I like for a fantasy. And I am now on page 252. Like, I have like 100 pages left. I actually have exactly 100 pages left. Please, no one die. No one more die, please. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading because this is too good. Good morning, guys. Welcome. It is the next day. I never really wrapped up yesterday's reading, so I thought I would do it now before I get into reading for today. So yesterday I read Divine Rivals all day, like you guys saw. I got up to page 300. Chapter 39, and let's just say things are getting very chaotic and I'm kind of scared, if I'm being honest, but I did end up reading 170 pages of Divine Rivals last night, and then I also read 20 pages of Out on a Limb, which I'm actually reading on my Kindle, just because I always like to read a little bit before bed, so I read about 20 pages of that. So yesterday, let's wrap that up. I read 190 pages. I was so close to reading 200 pages, but 190, that's a lot. I don't know if we'll be doing that today, but we shall see. Today, I am hoping to go to my cottage because it's the last day of freedom. I start school tomorrow, and then I can read while I'm there. That's the plan. I'm definitely gonna finish this today because I have like 50 pages left and it's gonna be pure mayhem, I can already tell. As you can see, it is now pouring rain outside. It's actually storming. So I clearly did not go to the cottage just because I do not feel like sitting in the rain. That's not a vibe. So instead, I'm just going to try and sit down and finish reading this book this afternoon. That's the plan. Wish me luck. Very cozy vibes right now with the rain and everything. It's chilly. I've now finished reading Divine Rivals, and I honestly had to take a little break after finishing it just to gather my thoughts and opinions before I present to you guys. I feel like I'm like doing a book, what were those called, like book reports in high school or in elementary school? This book was phenomenal. I'm sure you guys are not surprised when I say I rated this 5 stars. It's honestly probably one of my new favorite fantasy books because I loved the setting, I loved the characters, I was never bored, like even like a little like, oh, this is kind of slow. I didn't find that at all. I found it was paced very well. The ending was phenomenal and heartbreaking. It was just so good. The writing as well, like the quotes and everything was just chef's kiss. Like, this book is everything I want in a fantasy book, if I'm being honest. I loved the historical type of setting during a war, and it's just like really devastating. I'm just really overwhelmed and I want the next book like right now, but it doesn't come out until Boxing Day, December 26th. So I have picked up So I've picked up Killer Instinct by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the second book in the Natural series. And if you didn't know, the Natural series, it's kind of like a Criminal Minds sort of YA type of book series. It follows 5 different characters. And they each have they're each like considered gifted. They each are considered gifted children, and they have like special abilities that can help the FBI with solving cases. Specifically, they're supposed to be solving cold cases. The first book was so good. It was super fast-paced and really entertaining, and it hooked me right away. This one is doing the exact same thing. I'm already 60 pages in. Like, these books are so addicting. I don't know what she puts in them, but I can't stop reading it. But yeah, this is what I'm currently reading. I'm probably just going to keep reading it There's not a whole lot I can really say about this because a lot of it involves spoilers from the first book. And I mean, they're not major spoilers, but they're still enough that I won't talk about it just so that it doesn't ruin it for anyone who might want to read it. Okay guys, it is currently like 6 o'clock and I have not done a whole lot of reading today, mostly because I had school, so I was trying to organize that kind of stuff. Anyways, so yesterday I read 50 pages of Divine Rivals so I could finish it up. And then I read another 60 pages of Killer Instinct. And then I just read like 10-ish pages on my Kindle. So that adds up to around 120 pages yesterday read, which is quite good in my opinion. So far today, I've only read like 40 pages. So I would like to make some more progress on Killer Instinct. Oh my gosh, there's a Sleeping on Hogwarts Express 7 hours of ambiance, rainy night at Hogwarts video. That sounds absolutely delightful. Absolutely. Look at that. I love it. Okay, that's my evening right here. I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit quieter just because my mom is in fact sleeping in the room beside me. So I have made quite a bit of progress on Killer Instinct. I haven't really talked to you guys about it, but there's not a whole lot I can say without spoiling it. So I did make it to page 252, which means I read 202 pages today, which is quite a lot actually, a lot more than I thought I would. This book is a really quick read though. I feel like I sit down and I'm suddenly like 40 pages in within the first 20 minutes. It's a little dramatic, but you get the idea. It's very fast paced, but each book I think follows a different case, or at least the first two books have been different cases, and I love this case. I think I like this case better than I liked the case in the first book. This one is just so good. Jennifer Lynn Barnes does such a good job at making it feel so real and like I can picture it all in my head sort of idea. I also have a lot of different theories. One of them was right, like one of the plot twists I did get right. It was kind of earlier on and it was definitely alluded to. Like, do not think I'm smart because I'm not good at guessing plot twists at all. And usually I don't really try to, but these books I've actually been trying to like guess who the murderer is because these always follow like murder cases. Hi everyone, you have finally reached the end of this reading vlog, so I thought I would sit down and chat about what books I read and how much I was able to realistically read this week. So this reading vlog went from Tuesday until Sunday, but I didn't really film on the weekend because I honestly didn't read that much. So let's start off with the first book I read, which was Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. So this book was phenomenal. I think you guys all know very well how I rated it 5 stars and I couldn't shut up about it throughout this whole video. But it is such a good fantasy read and I really recommend anyone to read it. It's very light fantasy. I wouldn't say it's super complicated or difficult to understand, which is also why I probably liked it because I was not in the mood for a heavy fantasy book. It was just really phenomenal. 5 out of 5 stars. I won't keep talking about this, but I do recommend you go read it. And then the other book I was able to finish during this reading vlog was Killer Instinct by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This book is another phenomenal read. I also rated this one 5 out of 5 stars, so I had a very successful week this week. I absolutely love this book as well. The found family aspect in it, I really enjoy. I also loved the case at which they were solving in this book, more so than I liked the first book, to be honest. It is YA, so it is very easy to get through and it's nothing too complicated, but it is a really fun mystery. I guessed a few of the plot twists, but that honestly didn't take away from my enjoyment. I still adored this book. So those are the 2 books I was able to finish this week. But I also was reading on my Kindle every night before bed, and I was reading Out on a Limb by Hannah Bottom Young, and that book is also really good. I didn't quite finish it. I think I have like 20% left or something, so I definitely made a lot of progress. But it's a really good romance with the accidental pregnancy trope, and they kind of hooked up one time on Halloween, and then they never really talked to each other again. And then a few months later, she finds out she's pregnant, and they have to figure this whole situation out together. This book had really good discussion on pregnancy, on birth defects and deformities, PTSD after going through cancer, which I found really interesting considering I'm also in that point in my life right now where I'm going through remission and dealing with the effects of going through something so traumatic. And I think this book discussed a lot of really great points and topics that don't get discussed very often in books, even though they should. And it also helps just gain more perspective on how other people kind of have to live their life. And it was just really well written. I really enjoyed it. Covered a lot of great topics, and it's another book I would definitely recommend if you're into the romance genre. It's a little bit deeper than your traditional rom-com, which I like, but they still had a lot of like carefree moments where they just made jokes, which was nice. And that's it. That's everything I read this week. That's how much I was able to read. Now let's go over how many pages I was actually able to read every day. So like I said, I started this challenge or video on Tuesday, and on Tuesday I read 190 pages. Wednesday, I read 120 pages. On Thursday, I read 217 pages. On Friday, I only read 30 pages. And then on Sunday, I read 105 pages. And then I didn't read anything on Saturday. That is how much I realistically read in a week. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you'd like to see more videos like this, more reading vlogs, do let me know in the comments. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.